Hello everyone. So in this video, we will see how the software which we are going to use in our Oracle SQL module looks like, what are the basics of that software, how to open the software, how to use the software, how to connect the software to the appropriate server. So first thing, after the installation, either you can go to the folder directly, but I would recommend to have a shortcut on your desktop so that it's easier to find the software every time rather than going into your folders and trying to find that particular software. So that's why I've created a shortcut. You can see on the right side of my screen, SQL Developer Alias. Alias is basically a word for a secondary name. So this is a shortcut. This is not my software on my desktop. This is just a shortcut to that software. Now, given whatever software you are using, Mac OS or Windows, creating a shortcut is kind of a similar process. So first, I'll double click on the software name. So I'll wait for few seconds. Usually it doesn't take more than few seconds to open up the software. But if you are opening for the first time, it might take a little bit more time. Don't be impatient. This is your software which looks like. You will see a welcome page. You don't have to worry about what all written here. The thing which you need to go directly, since this is the layout of the software. Now, whenever we work on Oracle SQL, we do not work on our local systems. When I say local systems, it basically means the data we access. Okay, all the queries we will be writing on the data, that data is not present in our local systems. By local systems, I mean your laptop computer. That data is present in a server. And first thing is we need to connect our software to that particular server. Because after only that connection, we can, all the queries which we are going to learn in this particular module, going to apply on that particular data sets. So first thing you have to look for, find this, create a connection manually, which will be under database detected. Since your software is not connected to any database, you will not see any database. So after clicking on create your connection manually, you will see something like this. So this is the screen where you will put the credentials of the server. Now these credentials will be same for each one of you because these credentials are for a server which we are trying to connect. Okay. These are not your user specific credential that the username password you are looking is different for me and it will be different for you. No, all the credentials which I'll be putting in front of you will be the same for you as well. So I'll open this. Don't worry, you will get this file separately, so you don't have to worry about copy pasting from a video. So first thing, you have to give a name to this particular server. Now, since you are learning, I'm hoping you are not using this software before, but if you are, and suppose you are, working on multiple servers. So it's a good thing to, give the name to your server so that you know which server to access. But right now, most of you probably looking at this software first time. So we can just give syntaxtechs HR database. Now, again, this name is user specific. You can write anything here, my practice database, syntax, but it's good if you keep the same wordings. So first thing is the name. You see the name. After that, you see authentication type, username and password. So I'll again go back to my image. Username is database. Make sure you type the username and password by yourself because what happens, some softwares do not allow the copy paste in this particular section. Database 123, that's the same password. Make sure to click on save password so that you don't have to enter the password every time you open this particular software. Connection type, we will keep to basic. Host name, you will see it's a written local host by default, which we are going to change into this particular link. So make sure you select, whenever you are copy pasting, you start from here and you select after com also. Okay. Do not add any extra spaces when you are trying to select. Make sure there is no extra spaces or any additional character is selected apart from this particular link on the screen. You put the host name here. Then port is 1521, which is same. We don't have to change it. SID is ORCL. SID, which is written XE here, you need to change it to ORCL and make sure it's written in capital letters because this is how our credential of this particular database are. So after applying those credentials, first step is we check whether whatever we have written is correct or not. Because see, it's a human tendency, we can always assume a human error that when we are trying to write, maybe by mistake, I write something here extra. I put an extra space like this here, okay, which we should not. And in that case, the thing which we are going to do is click on test. So first we will test whatever we have written here. So it will tell you, it will not connect to the database, but if here you can see it's written status equals to success, which means whatever I have written here, it's correct. Okay. Now I can proceed and click on connect. You can see now it's connected, and on the left hand side you will see a name is popped up, Syntax HR database. Now this name is the same which you give in your credentials. Okay. It doesn't change at all. Now if you leave it for a few seconds, it will, show you something like this, but you don't have to worry about it. Now, after seeing this name here, and if you just take your mouse here, you don't have to click anything. It will also show connected. So you can close both of them. They are not needed now. You can just look at the empty screen. No, we are not going to look at the empty screen for long. Now, in this database, this is the database where you will find all the tables. As we move ahead in the course, I'll show you which are the tables, what are their names, and so on. But if you still want to see, click on the plus sign against Syntax HR database. Another list of options will open. Just wait for a few seconds. So you see all these options are open now. Now in these options, the thing which we are going to use is tables, the first one, because this is where all the tables are stored. So you can see all the tables. Here you will see a lot of tables. We will not use all of them, but obviously they are available if you want to, practice or something like this. Some are your system tables like this one, where you see a different symbol. But if I go to a regular table, you can see the symbol changes. So make sure you do not touch the system tables. We only work on the regular tables. Now, this is something which is just a walkthrough of this software, that how do we open the software? How do we go and store something? Now, if you want to check where your code will be saved, right? Because after writing any piece of code, you need to save your code. You can always go and click on File, click on Open. It will show you few options, okay? It will show you few options. If you click on your username or wherever, your code is supposed to go, now you will see all these different options are there. But again, do you need to go and check them every time? No. This is something you don't need to worry about. This is something after you writing the code, after you write a piece of code, you can either find that piece of code in reopen, okay? You will find these code here, or later on you can go and actually click on open and find the file. As we move ahead in the course, I'll show you how to locate the file after saving the file. That is also not a problem as of now. But yeah, make sure before coming to a practical class, you see this walkthrough video and you make sure you are at this step, that when you open the tables file, you see a lot of tables. Now you don't need to worry which table to use at this point. As we move ahead, I'll show you which table to use, which is good, which is, which are used for our projects, which are used for our regular works. So, okay, that was the walkthrough video of this particular software, and I'll meet you in the next one.